What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Louis Villain 23, aka J130, the in-gaming crew. I'm back today with Zan.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to be talking about the DLC situation in gaming today. Now, one angle I want to look at this from is we're still pretty fresh off of E3 and a lot of games got announced, but a genre of games that seems to be on the upswing as of late is the fighting game community. And I mean, we got Pokken, we got, I guess you can count ARMS, we got Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Tekken 7 is still fresh, Injustice 2 is still fresh. We still, it's pretty healthy in the fighting game community right now. But I have a question. Is the fighting game community the only place where DLC is really, like, reasonable? Because if you think about it, I guess for example, we can take Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, very, very, very old fighting game, my favorite fighting game of all time. When it released, way before DLC was even a thing, in arcades, it released with 56 playable characters. In today, that would be completely unheard of. Like, you wouldn't get 56 characters off the bat in any damn game, any damn fighting game. I don't care what it is, you're not getting it. Now, you go to, like, I don't know, Street Fighter V. Now, I don't remember how many characters it released with, but I do remember that on day of release, because I picked it up on day of release, they had a season pass already available to pick up the next 5 DLC characters, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because it's like, what is the point of having day 1 DLC when these characters could have just been in the game? Is that, like, strategic? Is that for hype? Is that to build up excitement, to build up anticipation, or is it just a money grab? Chris, what do you think?
I think with certain fighting games, Street Fighter included, especially with Street Fighter V, I think they kind of did that to test the waters. Because, both of us have played Street Fighter V, so when we played through the story, all of the characters that were in that initial roster were all key parts in that story. And then when, I want to say it's like at that point, they dropped, the first season of characters. And at that point, they kind of just sat down and listened to the ground at that point. Because they wanted to see who they wanted to hear next. Because I honestly would like to say that a lot of those choices for Season 2 were fan picks. Or at least what they thought, coming from the fans, was the more popular characters to get brought back. But I always see it as kind of reasonable. Kinda.
Now, one thing that I also, like, 2 more games I'm going to reference for this is, like, Mortal Kombat X. Now, Mortal Kombat did have they came out and said at NetherRealms there were some characters they were waiting to hear that fans wanted back. Like Smoke and all of them, and they kind of cheated and brought them all back with Triboard. But they also have, like, I guess they kind of have a, being Warner Brothers Studios, they bring in, like, movie characters, being Jason and Alien and stuff like that. But then you go to a not-so-traditional fighting game like Smash 4, where they actually did listen to the community over what they wanted. They actually held a poll to see what people wanted. And knowing you had to buy, you said $3, right, for a new character on Smash?
I believe so.
So, $3 and you buy your character, like, that made sense to me. To have out and come out and say, we're having a poll for you people to see what you want in the game, and they get in the game, of course you would pay for that. You wanted it to be in there, but then we have to flip it. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, the majority of these characters are rips from 3 with the exact same moves, exact same combos, exact same ultimates. But the only characters that we even really care about are all DLC. Hell, Sigma, one of the characters in the main story that they tried to push, is DLC.
That I really don't understand.
Black Panther, one of the characters that they used in their E3 trailer to kind of build up hype, was, let's be real, probably going to end up being DLC. Venom, going to end up being DLC. Venom hasn't seen the light of day since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Is that a money grab, or is that just, Capcom kind of falling back into their dumb stage?
Man, Capcom ain't got a lot of money right now, so they're probably grabbing just about anything they can.
I mean, I don't know. But like, you know, when the thing about the fighting game communities, we kind of look at that where DLC's a little bit like, it doesn't seem like they're trying to just bend you over until you, like, you know, we shift back over to the other realm of gaming and like the FPSs and like all the other stuff. Like, I hate bringing this game up every video, but they're like, this is like the page 1 of what not to do in game development. Destiny. Look, Destiny intentionally cut out parts of their game to be repurposed and resold as DLC. I don't think like Capcom would do that in Street Fighter. To say, yo, you know, oh, you're trying to throw Dudley on the main roster? No, rip him off and just give him back to him as DLC. I don't think that's what's going on. But I do think that when it comes to games like Destiny and other stuff like that, I'm just really hoping that a lot of these games don't get ruined because of it. Because you already know the fighting game we're most excited for, Dragon Ball Z Fighters. They only, like, what, 7 characters are announced right now? Being Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell, Boo, Frieza, and Trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are only 7. When you think about the Dragon Ball Z universe and how many characters could ultimately be in this game, especially the same franchise that had fighting games with like upwards of 100+ characters, there's going to have to be a ton. Well, there won't have to be a ton, but there can be a ton.
Yeah.
But really hoping that they don't try and dig us down with DLC in this particular game, because I already know nostalgia will sell. Let's be real, nostalgia will sell DLC, especially in this game. Like, I could come out and say all day long, I'm not buying DLC for Dragon Ball Z Fighters. All they have to do is show me a Broly trailer and the money might as well already be flying out of my wallet.
It'll stick to the screen.
Exactly, like, it's not even fair. Like, it'll like get sucked through my PC. Like, it's not even fair. But I'm really hoping like that a lot of the good crop of fighting games that's getting announced doesn't really follow the train of a lot of other games like Destiny or like, I don't know, Call of Duty, whatever the fuck, or whatever games are kind of just banking on DLC like that. Because I know, especially from you being like a Tekken person, Tekken has never really like done that with DLC, have they?
Not really that I know of. I mean, no. I mean, I guess technically with fight money, maybe, but I honestly can't remember if they've ever done anything like that. And if they have, I never really did any of it.
I'm saying, because like, you know, I mean, let's be real. Like, we're far gone from the days if you buy a game, you download it, and it's done. You know, you buy a game and it's over. You have the full game. Like, there's gonna be DLC one way or another, whether you like it or not. But my only concern is there's DLC, and then there's really just trying to pimp people out of their money. I don't like that. But the one question I have for you, Chris.
Yeah.
If you could have DLC in any game, like, you want DLC in a game, do you want just cosmetics? Do you want characters? Like, or do you want a completely new game experience, or does it depend on the price tag of what the DLC is?
Honestly, it wouldn't depend on the price tag, because 9 times out of 10 there's ways around that. But it honestly depends on the genre of game. With fighting games, I'm more on the fence of getting a character over getting cosmetics. Especially if it's going to be on the PC, there's going to be mods for that shit anyway. With RPGs, I mean, you know, sometimes a cool weapon from like a past game is kind of cool, but in most cases, I would like an expansion on the story, maybe like a post story or a side story that happened in the middle of, you know, the middle of the game that kind of branches off so you see other sides of the conflict. With shooters though, I mean, I think Battlefield's the one thing that we can take that like did something right, because their new expansion, or their DLC that's coming out is an expansion. It's a new storyline. It's a completely new thing, but it's still that shooter aspect. But it's coming from the eyes of someone else. It's coming from a female, which is like the first in gaming, apparently, at least for shooters. But I think that's a really good thing to look at. With stuff like DLC, like with like Destiny, like I hate that we have to keep jumping back to this, but it's like the rule book of what you don't do. With Destiny, I feel like if they hadn't come out and said, or if someone hadn't dug it up and found out that these were literally like, you were gonna get a full game that was like 40 hours of gameplay, but instead we just kind of took the full game, chopped it up, and put price tags on them, and then sold you the pieces, I feel like it'd be a different subject. Like, I feel like if that first base, like, 3 or 4 hours of the game were an actual, like, at least, you know, 30-plus hour gameplay along with it, and then they're like, oh yeah, here's some expansions to the story, and then kind of slapped it on like that, instead of this, like, I'm spending $30 for a part of a game that I should have already had.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of fucked up.
You know what's funny is at E3, it was kind of funny to watch Destiny 2, kind of the way they move, kind of like they're just doing the same shit over again, kind of just telling people we changed. And then you see Star Wars Battlefront, where it's like, yo, we had a really cool game, and we fucked it up trying to money grab. Everything's free.
Yeah, like, EA, I like you, and we've said this, I think we said this during the Anthem video, but like, I really hope that that's like the mentality that they have for like the rest of their games. Like, I really hope they
Battlefront.
I really hope they just come up and go, you know what, we fucked up, we hear your complaints, and we're sorry. Let's fix it. And you know what, here's the start, all the DLC for Battlefront's free. I really hope they take that to the rest of their business model.
And you know, if Destiny wanted to be successful with their new IP, Destiny 2, and like future IPs, they should take a page out of the book for EA and say, yo, I know that you guys are trying, I know you guys are in that Activision contract where you gotta make money, but dog, if you could find a way, like, dog, if Destiny came out and said all of our expansions will be free, I'd buy Destiny 2.
I'd pre-order.
I
wouldn't feel cheated.
I wouldn't feel cheated because I'm getting a full game. And I can look forward to new content knowing that I've already committed to the game by buying it. I don't have to be bent over and, you know, shanked from my wallet, you know, by Bungie. That's dope. But with EA, Battlefront 2, definitely copping it. Because they had a great showing, and then they come out like, yo, we fucked up, all our shit's free. That's dope. But, like, you know, I think that's the thing that comes with all feeling like this fear of DLC, because like you know you get one, it's like, oh god, it's gonna be a thing, you know, like I don't want to get into that, man. But the point of this video is just, look, there's a difference between DLC for stuff you actually want and DLC for the sake of just being able to get $1 off of you. And we're just really hoping that with a lot of the cool games that got announced at E3, and some that have been announced after E3, and we're starting to get more information on these games, we're just really hoping that a lot of these IPs, like Anthem, like Dragon Ball Z Fighters, like some of that stuff that we're really looking forward to, doesn't get derailed trying to rob us. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter and go follow us on Twitch. We are going to be streaming Lawbreakers here. Actually, you'll be seeing this today. So we'll be streaming Lawbreakers today, and the next day, we're going to be doing this beta. We will have a video over the beta. I'm excited because it might even be the shooter that dethrones Overwatch, but you didn't hear that from me. Anyways, we're E3 Gaming, and we're out.
See ya.